right now is, you'll recall the interview that I'd done with Eric Schmidt, the Google chief, and some of his comments have, of course, sparked a lot of interest, especially Google Glass and the driverless car.
Well,
he said he's driven in it, and you know what he said to me was, Eric Schmidt, that for the first 20 minutes, you're just freaking out. You're in panic mode. You're saying, what on earth is happening? And then you get used to it.
So, I think what we should do, maybe many people missed that talk, and that was a very interesting talk you both had. Why don't we show a few very interesting points from within that interview? So here then is Eric Schmidt and Vikram Chandra.
Hello and welcome. We have an extremely special guest with us, Eric Schmidt, the Executive Chairman of Google. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
And for me too.
We will, of course, complain that this is the first time you've been to India. So anything particular that brings you out here? Or?
I was here in an earlier job, and India has grown so much. I don't think Americans are aware of how much growth, how much the country has changed. The new cars, the traffic jams, the excitement, the morale, it's fantastic.
I know Android is open. You've got lots of models for it, and you encourage that competition. Does that sometimes make it difficult to have a cohesive user experience, as you might have it with an Apple product, for example?
Our competitors have made this point many times. In practice, the Android platform is quite coherent. And if you're using the latest versions of Android, very, very common. So I disagree with that criticism whatsoever. In corporations have typically started off, for example, using the BlackBerry RIM products, but more and more of them are moving to Android. So we have evidence that as we have filled out the platform, added additional enterprise, that we should be a significant player in corporations as well.
Okay, one of the other major complaints that keeps coming from here in India is that why aren't you launching your Nexus products fast enough in India? There seems to be a slight gap before you're launching some of these abroad and in India. Apple used to do that, then they stopped. It's now coming to India really fast.
I agree with that criticism, and we need to accelerate our efforts to get the Nexus product lines here in India, and that work is underway.
Okay, one final question on products is Google Glass, driverless cars, some of these other big innovative categories that are coming. How far away are they?
Well, each of them are aspects of something which we call Google X. The driverless cars, which I have been in, and it's quite an experience to have the car driving at you on the freeway, stopping, turning, and so forth. They say it takes about 20 minutes for the driver to recover from the shock of having the car drive himself or herself, and I certainly took a long time for me as well. It's going to be some years, I think, before you'll see a large number of those kinds of cars in the roads, because we need to make them even more fail-safe. We need to mature the technology. In the case of Google Glass, I'm proud to say that we're going to be delivering Google Glass products this year for developers, for beta testers. We call them pioneers. We don't fully understand how people will use this, but we know it's a revolution. It's the first time you're able to see what other people are seeing, and it's the first time you can actually project it right there, right in front of people's eye, to help them monitor what's going on around them, keep them entertained, tell them what's going on, take photos, show them videos, that sort of thing.
So privacy concerns, I'm sure, will always be there. Somebody taking a picture with that Google Glass. I mean, you already had some concerns with when Street Views coming up, people are being filmed doing things that they probably didn't think they'd ever get filmed doing.
Well, Google Glass is simply just another camera, but every smartphone now has a camera. So I'm sure that it will be the same level of concern or lack of concern.
All right, Eric, it's a pleasure having you here in India. Look forward to talking to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you take care.